Hi.
Hi.
I'm so happy you're here, and I'm so happy to have this box ready. And this is the Bitcoin board game, the first original Bitcoin board game. And I love to explain it to you, how it works. And it will definitely help you to understand the whole Bitcoin ecosystem. It is called the Bitcoin Maximalist. It is a fun board game with the emphasis on education, but also we have a little bit of competition and some weird moments in the game as well, as I will explain when we continue. This is the box. It's a beautiful design, something you will not see in the general store. It's beautiful black leather. On top we have the Bitcoin white paper, which is the Bible for every Bitcoiner. Satoshi Nakamoto's freedom paper, real money. So this is really important for Bitcoiners. Next in the box you will find the game board, which is right in front of me. And inside the box we will have the game tools, the rabbits, the cards, the blocks, as I will explain when we continue. So tell me, what do you like to know now?
I would like to know everything, starting with each one of the fields, what they mean.
All right.
And as we maybe go through the game, you can explain how it works.
All right, very good. As you can see, we took the board out of the box. We put it on a flat surface. I will explain you quickly what the whole Bitcoin ecosystem is about. We have 40 fields. We start at the orange pill. The orange pill is kind of symbolic for Bitcoiners, because everybody who gets an interesting moment for Bitcoin, they will dive down the rabbit hole, and that's why we use rabbits to represent us during the game. So the orange pill is starting point. Each orange section is a Bitcoin mining country. These orange sections you can buy if they're not owned yet, and that will help you to generate more Bitcoin, because the aim of the game is to become a Bitcoin maximalist. So buying a Bitcoin mining country helps you to gain access to more Bitcoin. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. What are the blue ones?
The blue sections. The blue sections are the crypto exchanges. A crypto exchange is basically an institution where you can buy and sell Bitcoin. So if you're not a Bitcoin miner, you might want to buy them on the exchange. And here is where you can buy them. But to buy them, you have to turn over a Bitcoin market card. While you play the game, landing on a crypto exchange, you might turn over a card. And the Bitcoin card will reveal a Bitcoin price. And then you can decide whether you want to buy or sell. So you can make your decision. This card, nice reference, 2014, Mt. Gox got hacked. But the Bitcoin price now is 4,000. So you can now decide whether you want to buy Bitcoins.
So every time I land on the blue field, I get to pick a card.
You have to pick a card, correct.
Okay.
And the Bitcoins, and this is something funny I will show you in the box right now. This is something very funny, look. What about that?
Wow.
Yes? So in the game we have 210 Bitcoins. 210 is a small reference to the 21 million Bitcoins that are in circulation, or soon will be in circulation. So buying Bitcoin allows the game manager then, let's say you bought a couple of Bitcoins, and we will place it on one of the exchanges. There are 8 exchanges. We have crypto.com, we have Coinbase, OKX, and we place them here. Now they are on a crypto exchange wallet. So they're not kind of secure. Yeah, they're not kind of secure. And that's why we have Bitbox hardware wallet cards, which you will get at the beginning of the game. Because the Bitcoins on the exchange, you want to have them on your hardware wallet. So you can choose a wallet, and on the back side of the wallet, you will find your secret code.
Does it represent something?
Yes, it's your secret entry to your hardware wallet. So every time you roll your dice, when it's your turn, and let's say you have a 2 and a 4, at that moment you can choose to move your Bitcoin off the exchange into your hardware wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And now nobody can hack them.
If I forget, then it stays there.
If you forget, they will stay there. Correct.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the function of your hardware wallet. Yes. To keep your coins safe. Because the crypto exchange might get hacked. There are cybersecurity problems enough. Blue sections, buying and selling. The orange are the mining sections. Next we have the green sections. And those are actually meant to generate income because they are keynote speaker sections. In the Bitcoin, it's very normal that there's a conference, 4 or 5 conferences a year. And during these conferences, there are keynote speakers. They reveal updates about the Bitcoin core development. They have information about new developments. And so keynote speakers are important for every Bitcoin conference. They give us new information, new updates. But for the game, it is for educational purposes. We have keynote speaker cards. Landing on a keynote speaker card allows you to turn over a keynote speaker card. On the card is a question.
Why is Bitcoin's adoption in emerging markets growing so fast?
Can you answer the question?
No.
Then you can scan the QR code.
Can I?
Yes, let's try.
Oh. Okay, and then I can learn about it.
Yes, and then you can give the answer and you will
That's
have
amazing.
earned some keynote speaker money.
That's great. So
Yeah.
each card has a QR code. that
Each
leads
card
you
has
to
a
an
QR
answer.
code, different question. And so this causes interaction because maybe your next player might know the answer and you might have discussions and you might disagree. And so for us, it is to demystify the complexity of the game.
Do I get something if I answer correct?
You get $30,000, my dear.
Cash.
Cash in hand, yes.
Cool.
We have in the game box a whole selections of cash. Yes, which will be handed out when the game starts.
So the more you play, the more you know.
The more you play, the more you know. And the more you get orange pilled. And the moment you get orange pilled, you might decide to really buy some Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is the only hard money. Fiat money, like the euro and the dollar, they are coming out of thin air. They are printed like whenever you need it. That's why it's important to educate people about Bitcoin so they understand the difference between soft money and hard money.
What else do we have?
We have this section. It's called the pizza section. We included it into the game because a long time ago, 12, 13 years ago, the first transaction with Bitcoin was that somebody bought a pizza with Bitcoin, and he paid 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. In today's money, that would be a tremendous amount of money, but in those times it was just a couple of bucks. What do you do when you land here? You will have to order a pizza for 1 Bitcoin. This 1 Bitcoin you will have to pay into the ETF Bitcoin fund.
What if I don't have a Bitcoin then?
You will have to buy one. And the price you will have to pay is the last Bitcoin price revealed.
Okay.
So you have to pay 4,000 bucks to the
okay.
game manager. The game manager will put the Bitcoin on the ETF fund.
So if I step on a pizza field and I still don't have a Bitcoin, I get to get a card and pay the price.
Yes.
And then I have to put my Bitcoin in the fund.
Yeah.
Then what?
Then hopefully you will land on the ETF fund and you can take your Bitcoin. Or any other player who lands on the ETF fund can take that Bitcoin. But the funny part of the pizza section is that the next player who will come here will have to pay 2 Bitcoins. And the player after that will pay 3 Bitcoins. So it's adding every time.
If my Bitcoin is not in my wallet still, can I still take it out?
You can take it out of your wallet if you match your security key.
Okay.
If you roll the dice and you have one of these codes, you can take Bitcoin from your wallet and put it on the exchange so you can start trading again. Because now you have Bitcoins on the exchange, and only when you have Bitcoins on the exchange, you will be able to sell them. Imagine the next card you turn over, and this is not a good price, it is only 3,000. So you don't want to sell your Bitcoin for $3,000. You have to wait until you have a good price. For example, $17,000 for a Bitcoin. Now you might decide to sell your 3 Bitcoins. Yeah? You sell your 3 Bitcoins, you get your money. And now you have made a profit. And that profit can be used next time when you land on the exchange and buy Bitcoin if the price is lower.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course.
What is the main purpose?
The main purpose is to become a Bitcoin maximalist, meaning you should become the one in this game who holds the most Bitcoins. That means the duration of the game takes as long until all the Bitcoins are out in circulation. That's when the game stops. So when there are no Bitcoins anymore, we stop the game and we calculate the Bitcoins we have.
Okay, cool.
And obviously, the one with the most Bitcoins is the winner.
What else do you have in the box?
What else do we have in the box? Let me start with the mining blocks. Blue blocks are the mining blocks. The moment you buy a mining country, for example, you bought a mining country, Russia. You get a card, and on the card you will see the block reward you can earn if you solve the hash code. So you will have this card on Russia, which is somewhere here, and here is your hash code. You go with your rabbit, you land on Russia, and now the blue mining block comes into action. Because once you own a mining country, you have the right on your turn to place a blue mining block on the blockchain.
Do I have to buy it?
No, you can just take it on your turn.
I can put it only when I land on my country or just on my any turn?
When it is your turn,
Okay.
you can take a blue block and place it on your blockchain. Now you have a block to mine. If a player, for example, the green rabbit, lands on your property, you have the right to charge the power fee and you have the right to try and mine a block reward. That means you roll the dice and try to hash this code.
Unlucky.
I'm sorry.
But what if? What if I did hit my
Well, what is the block reward?
block reward 10?
10 Bitcoins.
Oh, so I get 10 Bitcoins.
You get 10 Bitcoins.
Does the block get removed then, or does it stay?
Yes, the 10 Bitcoins you mined go directly into your wallet. You can place them directly into your hardware wallet. The block is removed, and on your next turn you can make a new block, but only on your next turn. And this is fun, you also now have the opportunity to buy a CPU block, a computer block, to increase the power to get a block reward. The more computer power you have, the more access you have to opening up the hash and get more Bitcoin. That means on your next turn, you place a blue block and you bought extra computer power and you place this also on the blockchain. Now you have a block to mine and you have increased your computer power. Next time around, a player comes, you have a block to mine, you only have one roll with the dice. If successful, so the second time you are successful, you are allowed to buy another block. And now you have doubled your computer power. And by doubling your computer power, you also may now try twice to unlock your bit reward. In case you get lucky, you can convert 2 yellows into the maximum computer power there is. With a red CPU block, you can try 3 times to hash a block reward. So that's the maximum you can have. Computer blocks stay on the blockchain, they are permanent. Blue blocks disappear. And there are only 20 blue mining blocks. So you have to stay alert during the game because you want to have always a blue block on your mining property. These things are Bitcoin electronic traded funds. They are nodes and they are connected. There are 21 nodes in the network. A player who is landing on the ETF may collect the Bitcoin. So this is now mine. And now I am allowed to enter the ETF Bitcoin network. What I can do here, I can use my dice and I can try to get into the first node. All I have to do is to roll a value higher than 5. So anything above 5 is good. Game over. Nothing happens. I can continue my normal game. But 8. I can enter the network. This is my first node. Each node until 5 is 3 Bitcoin shares, which you can keep and cash them in for real money when the price is right and when it's your turn. I throw 8. That means I am not out. I can continue the game. 9. I go to the second node. Again.
Does each node has its own value? Or?
Yes. The first 5 have 3 shares per node. Now I already have 6. Since I am a gambling man, I will continue. 7. Again, more shares. I will continue. I'm a gambling man. And now I lost all my shares. Why?
Oh.
Because I didn't reach my 5th node. And the 5th node is green. That means my shares would be safe. But I continued to gamble and now I lost it.
What if you don't gamble? Can I cash it out?
Yes, I could have stopped here on my first node, collect my 3 Bitcoin shares and stop.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole purpose
When
of...
you collect, do you just go back?
Yes.
Where do you just...
Yes.
You continue your next move from
If,
then?
If my roll luck ends here, I go back to the ETF fund and continue my game.
On the next round?
Yes. Let me explain you something about the crypto exchanges. We have 8 crypto exchanges and you can choose an exchange in the beginning of the game. Maybe you favor crypto.com, maybe you favor Binance. Yeah, you can choose one. That means every time when you buy Bitcoin, we will place it on your exchange. Yeah, so just for safekeeping. Then I want to explain you this. In the game, when it's your turn, you can buy an insurance card. This insurance card will protect you from a cyber attack. And this card is available. You can buy it and keep it for safekeeping.
Is it like a one-time purchase then?
It's a one-time purchase. In case there is a cyber attack, you can play this card and save half of your Bitcoin holdings that you have on the exchange.
Cyber attack meaning what is that?
A cyber attack means that somebody is trying to steal Bitcoins from the exchange. And sometimes that is working.
Where does it come from in the game?
In the game, these cards will be revealed on the Bitcoin market cards. If this card is pulled, it means a cyber attack. And your cryptos you have on your exchange will be gone. Yes? Imagine you have these on your... You pull this card and the attacker says, thank you. Unless you play your security card, you can save half of your Bitcoin holdings. Unless you have full insurance, because you can also buy full insurance, you can save all your Bitcoins. So that's the importance of having insurance.
Where is the insurance card? Where do you go?
Here is the insurance card.
Okay.
And this one is for 50%. So you would have saved 50% of your coins.
So even if I get a cyber attack twice, I can still use it both times?
No, it's a one-time use.
Oh, so it's a one-time use. Okay, got it. Can I purchase it more than once? Right?
If you have money, you can, and insurance is available, you can buy one.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And since you're so interested in cards, let us explain some other beautiful cards we have. This is a hackback card. There are moments in the game where somebody can draw a card and he doesn't have to reveal the price. It's a keeper's card and you can keep the card like this. And this card allows you to hack an account, to steal somebody's Bitcoin. In this case, it's a hacker's card. And there are 2 exchanges here, crypto.com and Coinbase. Coinbase, crypto.com. So you wait until somebody who owns these exchanges have a lot of Bitcoin, and when it's your turn, you say, I'm hacking you.
Does that person's insurance card help
Yes,
against this?
yes, yes. If, only if you are able to crack the code. And by cracking the code, you use your wallet keys. Yeah? So you hack the opponent, you use your wallet keys, and if they match, you can take it. The victim can play its insurance card and will keep half of the... So that is an interesting development, because people will need to understand the importance of keeping your Bitcoin safe.
Sorry, but so I can only hack that if I hit the numbers? Okay.
Only Coinbase or Crypto.com.
And only if I...
Yes.
Okay.
Here we have an ETF card. An ETF card allows you to travel from here to the ETF, take all the Bitcoins that are on the ETF account, and enter the ETF network by pulling the ETF Bitcoin card.
So I travel automatically?
You travel automatically there. We also have, and this is very nice, a donation card. If you are a Bitcoin whale, you sometimes make donations, because that's who you are.
Where does it go?
And in this case, you make a donation of 2 Bitcoins to the player sitting left of you.
Very lucky.
Very lucky. Exactly. We have a Bitcoin tumbler mixer card. Pulling this card is beneficial for you. And what does it say?
It says, Bitcoin tumbler as well as Bitcoin mixer is a way to gain anonymity. A mixing mistake has brought you 1 Bitcoin.
There you go.
Very lucky.
There you go. The whole aim of the Bitcoin market cards is first of all to introduce the Bitcoin price, so for buying and selling, but also to educate people a little bit about the history of Bitcoin. Yeah, there are cards that reveal the early price of Bitcoin when it was around 100, 500, 1,000, but there are also cards that already have prices of over 100,000 of Bitcoin. That would make a good moment for you to sell the Bitcoin, to generate some cash and invest later.
Quick question though, if I pull this lucky card, does my Bitcoin go to that thing in the middle, or I get it in my wallet?
The Bitcoin tumbler, Bitcoin goes directly into your hardware wallet. Yes. So Bitcoins that are not going into your wallet are Bitcoins bought on the exchange.
So only the Bitcoins I buy, they go to the exchange?
Via the exchange, go on the exchange, yes. I think it's time for the most annoying person to introduce. You know him?
No, I don't. Please tell me more.
Imagine I roll the dice and I land on the tax department section. Landing there activates this man, the tax agent, and I have to deal with him. The tax agent will ask you to reveal your Bitcoin holdings. Yeah, and he talks about the Bitcoin holdings you have in your wallet. So you have 4 Bitcoins in your wallet, and he will ask you to prove that you pay all your taxes. And the idea is to use your dice and to roll a value higher than 5. If you roll higher than 5, you're safe. If you roll lower than 5, you're in for tax. $3,000 per Bitcoin tax. So show me how lucky you are.
So I need higher than 5.
The tax agent is here. You are green. You have to deal with him. Try.
Yes.
Lucky you.
Lucky me.
So nothing happens. You're safe. The tax agent is happy. All is in good order. Now during gameplay, the tax agent stays on the tax department. Because nothing to do at the moment. There's nobody there. If a player, and this is interesting, if a player rolls double, this player, besides that he can move his own token, he can choose to move the tax agent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the idea is that you move the tax agent to a competitor of you, to another mining country. Let's say we put it to China. The player who owns China will now, on its next turn, have to deal with the tax agent. You understand?
Oh, that's so cool.
So you can kind of I would not say, well, it's annoying, let's say. Yeah? So you can annoy your competitor a little bit. Once the competitor has dealt with the tax agent will stay on this mining country.
Until somebody hits
Unless somebody rolls doubles again, and who can relocate the agent again. And trust me, if you just annoy China, China may annoy you and put it on Russia. And then you have to deal with him again. But here's the funny part. Let's imagine there's a third player in the game. Landing on the tax department. You know what? Man in black. There's another tax agent. Now we have two active agents on the field. Imagine, the blue player will have to deal with the tax agent. The next player who rolls doubles is allowed to move a tax agent. And he wants to say, okay, put it in Australia. The player who owns Australia will now have to deal with the tax agent.
It's like a little war.
It's kind of a little war, yes, you can say so. But a kind of a nice war. How to get rid of a tax agent? A player who is landing on the orange pill has the right to move one tax agent off the board. So you can take one tax agent, say bye-bye, thank you very much for your service, and put him in the box. That's how you remove a tax agent. So you can understand that the tax agent can be of strategic value for in-game play to annoy a competitor. Yeah? I want to explain you a little bit about the blockchain. The blockchain is meant for people that own mining countries. If you own a mining country, you have the right to put a mining block there on your turn. On your next turn, you are allowed to put a second mining block on your section. This is the maximum amount of mining blocks you can have on your country. And only when you have a mining block, you are able to mine for a block reward. The moment you mine it, the block removes, and you have the right to buy a computer upgrade, which is the yellow one. Now you have a computer upgrade and still one mining block. On your next turn, you may put another mining block. So this is the maximum concentration you can have on your blockchain. You can have maximum 2 blue blocks and 1 yellow block. But now you mine, let's say you mine, 1 block moves away. And now you have the possibility to upgrade again. And now you will have 2 hashing machines. Now you have 1 blue block, but you can roll twice with the dice.
If I own many different countries, can I upgrade them all at the same time?
You can upgrade them all at the same time. I think that's a good idea.
With one...
Let's say you also own Brazil.
Yeah. So when it's my round,
yes,
I can upgrade both of them.
Yes.
With one extra blockchain.
This is not like Monopoly. This is a free game, and we allow people to maximize their profit. Owning Brazil, you can have already a CPU upgrade and 1 block. Remember, these ones you have to buy. 10,000 pop a piece. The red ones, I think there were 25,000 if I'm not correct. Yeah, I think there were 25k.
Where can I see the prices?
Here are the prices. So, maximum 2 CPU blocks, maximum 2 blue blocks. The price of the red block is 25,000. The yellow ones are 10,000. So,
okay.
For you, as a Bitcoiner, and interesting to increase your holdings, it is important that you increase the possibility of getting access to Bitcoin. Mining is one of the best ways to get access to Bitcoin cheaply, because you don't have to buy them. And the other one is to be smart on your Bitcoin trading. Whenever you land on a crypto exchange, check the price, make a decision, buy the Bitcoin, and then quickly move them to your hardware wallet, because that's where they are safe. You have to understand it. And this is not just game safe, also in the real world, if you buy Bitcoin, take them off the exchange and put them into your hardware wallet.
Unless the tax agent comes.
Unfortunately, we live in that world, yes.
So far, it all seems really clear to me. Is there something else in the box we left?
We have talked about the Bitcoin shares.
Yeah, we did.
Yes. Bitcoin fund.
Yeah.
Cash money you'll receive at the start of the game, 300,000. Blue blocks are mining blocks. Yellow blocks, CPU upgrade. Red blocks, maximum CPU power. Tax agents, we don't want to talk about tax agents. All right. So when the game starts and everybody is set, you can play with 2 people and you can play with 6. With 6 people is obviously more fun. It will be very competitive because everybody wants to own a mining country. There is not a big difference. Obviously, America, Kazakhstan, China, Russia are most favorable because they have a lot of mining power. That means your block reward in America is much higher than your block reward in Japan. Because Japan doesn't have so many mining companies. They don't have so much power to mine. So obviously you want to have these or 3 of these. The main thing for me as the author of the game is that people start to understand Bitcoin, to understand the complexities, because once you understand the complexities, it will make it far more easier for you to decide whether or not to put some money into Bitcoin. Because in my opinion, you cannot start early enough to understand what Bitcoin is. It is the first digital hard money we use. We already used the credit cards. It's kind of a form of digital money, yes. You put your plastic card on the counter and you basically pay. Bitcoin goes one step further. It is money you control and not the bank and not the government. It is your money. And when it's your money, you have to understand that you are also responsible to protect it. That's why a Bitcoin hardware wallet, if you ever buy real Bitcoin, every hardware wallet has a seed phrase, and that's the one you have to learn in your head, memorize it.
But in the game rules, is there something else you wanna?
The game rules are pretty straightforward. There are do's and there are don'ts. Follow the logic of the game and you will see how it unfolds. You might say right now, wow, this is overpowering. Actually, it's not. Once you step outside, you will understand how easy it is. Just follow your feelings, be lucky, have a lucky hand, because every market, and Bitcoin at the moment is still a market, you need a little bit of luck. That means you have to buy at the right time, sell at the right time.
What about the white paper?
Every Bitcoin Maximalist game box has a Satoshi white paper. It is the Bible for every Bitcoiner. This is where the explanation of what hard money is comes from. It is a computer code that cannot be changed. It is unmutable. It allows us to generate something of value that is very scarce, because the maximum amount of Bitcoin that ever will be created are 21 million. And what Bitcoin is divided into 100 million Satoshi. So there is plenty of room, plenty of space for everybody on this planet to own a couple of Satoshis. Maybe even a Bitcoin.
So does this paper is like educational, or do I use it for the game?
This paper is educational, but it is a little bit more than education. It is almost like a certification of what real money is. It is a certification of openness. It is a certification of transparency, because Satoshi never wanted to hide his invention. He shared it with all the world.
So this paper is like a keepsake for me.
This paper is like a keepsake for you.
Awesome.
And if you buy the game today, I will even sign it for you.
Oh, lovely.
All right?
Yes.
Okay. If you have any further questions, you can always reach me on the info at the Bitcoin Maximalist Gmail. Yes, and I'm always open for any questions to answer. All right?
So far, I'm ready to play.
Good. Let's go. So, in case you have any more questions, we have a game manual, yes, and in the game manual you'll find all the little things that you need to play the game and hopefully win it and have the title of a Bitcoin Maximalist. Inside you will find all the information, more detailed as in this overview. It will give an explanation on how the game board is divided, what the game mechanics are, how to use the blocks on the blockchain, some explanation of the cards, the role of the dice in our game. Dice play a very important role. It's not only just for movement of your token, but also it will decide how many bitcoins you buy, how many bitcoins you can sell, whether or not you have your hash code. So this booklet will basically tell the fine print of the game rules. And still, if you have any more questions, feel free to drop me an email and we will be happy to respond.
But so far everything should be there.
Everything should be there. It awaits your, how should I say, your curiosity about Bitcoin. And if you're curious enough to learn about money, this is your entry.